Trust me, you do not want to be on the naughty list.
I am wearing reindeer antlers. They are just out of frame. So, Klaus. This movie came out in 2019 and I missed it the first time around. I'm weird and I just can't watch holiday movies not around the holidays. So I had to wait a whole year to see this movie, even though I know it got an Oscar nom and it's apparently really, really good. This is a Santa origin story, which I'll admit kind of made me not want to see it, just because there's been so many Santa origin stories that I've seen in family movies, and they're usually pretty okay. Plus, I think by now, Santa origin stories have kind of been done to death. This movie is probably going to be my definitive Christmas favorite until further notice. And I realized that I just did a Wolfwalkers review and said that that movie was amazing as well. I swear I'm not just like an absolute devout follower of animation, although I do think it's cool. This was just a really good movie. I've reviewed 2 really amazing movies in a row. I like things. I like things again. Isn't that great? And I realized that saying that this is a new Christmas classic is kind of a loaded statement, but hear me out. This is not just a good Christmas movie, it's just a good movie, period. Saying that it's a Santa origin story doesn't quite do it justice. It's the story of a selfish asshole befriending an oddly terrifying, bitter old hermit, and how together they accidentally end up forming the folk legend that is Santa. A lot of Christmas movies end up going the ironic route, I believe, because the idea of a Christmas movie in general is just a little cheesy. But this movie was not afraid to go there emotionally and just make a really great story and focus it on a central message that's heartwarming, and then just work Christmas into that story. The message is really simple. It's that one good deed always sparks another. For those of you that don't know, the plot basically centers around this trust fund baby Jesper, who gets stationed at this desolate wasteland of a northern town as a postman in order to kind of straighten him out and teach him responsibility. And he can only return home once he actually does his job and has a record of 6,000 letter deliveries to prove it. And the story really kicks off when Jesper accidentally delivers a drawing from a very sad little local boy to this oddly terrifying old woodsman that lives far outside of the town. And in a hilariously ominous scene, this old hermit enlists Jesper to help him deliver a toy to this sad little boy because he's a woodworker. He's got a bunch of toys lying around. Rumor spreads pretty quickly that if you deliver a letter to the postman, this mysterious man named Klaus will deliver you a toy. And of course, more letters means going home faster for Jesper, so he kind of helps this along. And from here, you get to have an amazing time watching how this situation ends up snowballing and unintentionally transforming this joyless, sad little town. In the movie, you're kind of watching 2 transformations. You're watching the main transformation of this old bitter hermit into this legend of Santa that we're all very familiar with. And you also get to see everybody in the town that's affected by this snowballing event. It's so joyful to watch. Another thing that I thought was really cool about this movie is that Christmas already exists as a holiday in this world. And what we're seeing isn't the birth of I was gonna say the birth of Christmas, and then I thought the birth of Christ. Like, of course we're not seeing that. Because when you really get down to the religious roots of Christmas, a fat guy breaking into your house and giving you gifts really has nothing to do with it. And the movie kind of offers an explanation for that, while still being really magical and full of wonder. So the phrase bursting into tears, I feel like I throw it around a lot. The beginning of Up has got nothing on this movie. Have you ever had that kind of cry where you don't know that it's coming? Like 1 second you're not crying, you're absolutely fine, and then like something from deep within you just gets triggered and your face does that like auto crumple. My face auto crumpled at multiple points in this movie. And I don't want to give anybody the impression that this movie is just shamelessly sad and just trying to throw everything at you to just squeeze a bit of emotion. Sometimes that can be a little cheap when it's done. Like, stop trying so hard. movie. This is one of those really rare films where I'm crying not just because I'm sad, but because I'm feeling such joy. There are moments of joy in this movie that are so palpable and so happy that you're gonna cry. And if you're not looking to cry, don't worry, because this movie's also hilarious. This is probably the only animated movie that I've ever seen where I stopped and went, what a very tasteful, comical use of a hip-hop riff. Nothing about this movie feels out of touch or dishonest. It's funny, it's creative, it's magical. It's honestly the perfect movie to curl up with on Christmas especially, but really any time of the year. It feels really good to sit down and watch a movie that's just its own contained, good story. But above all, this is such a good film, and it reminded me why I like movies. I'm definitely going to be checking out whatever else the studio puts up next. And anyways, guys, that is my review for Klaus. I hope everybody has a happy holiday season, and if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.